What's going on, guys? I hope everyone is having a great day, and today I want to talk about why I don't like Halloween 2 from 1981, which serves as a direct sequel to John Carpenter's classic from 1978, Halloween. And bear in mind, this is my opinion, and if you don't agree, that is perfectly fine. My opinion is my opinion, and I don't wish to push and impose it on you. I'm just making you aware. And I will repeat that so that way no one gets any smart ideas. I am making you aware that this is my opinion, and I'm giving a double disclaimer because I know that I'm swimming in some pretty dangerous water by making this video. Now, in the grand scheme of things, as far as the Halloween franchise is concerned, I do think Halloween 2 is one of the better Halloween sequels. I think it is better than Halloween 2018 and Kills, and it's better than Resurrection, and it's better than Rob Zombie's Halloween, and it's even better than 5 and 6 to me. Halloween 2 is a lot of people's favorite sequel, and it's the sequel that people believe is the true sequel to the 78 film, and I can understand why to a certain degree. It does pick up right where the first film leaves off, and it has some of the characters from the first film returning, like Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, Charles Cyphers as Brackett, and Nancy Stevens as Marion Chambers. And it has the same mask, with the Nick Castle stretch returning. Other than that, I don't really like this movie. I used to like it because I always felt like I had to, but if I'm being really honest with myself, this to me is a very unnecessary sequel. As I've said 1,000 times now, the original film didn't end the way it did to lend itself to a sequel. It ended like that to drive the moral of the story home. Evil never dies, and it could exist where we expect it to the least. Halloween 2 really diminishes that, in my opinion, and it demystifies the Shape by giving him a motivation to go after Laurie Strode, where John Carpenter, over a six-pack of beer, decided to give Michael and Laurie a familial connection. So yeah, I do have issues with this film narratively, and I wouldn't have been upset if they I would not have been upset if they decided to just not include the brother sister angle, because I would have been with it if Michael went after Laurie to the hospital without the familial connection, because in the original film Michael had this infatuation with Laurie. They weren't brother and sister. They weren't intended to be brother and sister, rather, in the original film. So it wouldn't have been all that unbelievable if Michael went to finish off Laurie at the hospital if they didn't include the familial connection, because Michael just wants to get the job done. I actually would have been fine with that. I still wouldn't have liked it because I don't think the first film needed a sequel, but I wouldn't have been as upset about it. It just doesn't feel to me it just doesn't feel natural and organic when Marion Chambers informs Loomis that Michael is Laurie's sister. Michael is Laurie's brother. Excuse me. It feels very forced and just random. And I just don't like that. It just does a huge disservice to the wonderful 78 film, in my opinion. And I envy anyone who has seen only the 78 film, and I wish I lived in that world. I wish that I haven't seen any of the sequels. Of course, Halloween 1 is the only one, in my opinion, that exists in head canon, not real canon, but head canon. But I unfortunately have seen all of the other films, and I can enjoy them in a vacuum on Halloween night, because there are good things about the sequels. They do have some good things. I think pretty much all of them are terrible, but they do have some good moments. But another issue I have with Halloween 2 is the mask. Yes, now, it is the same mask from the 78 film. I'm not denying that. I know that. But my problem with the mask in Halloween 2 is it looks gungy. The hair is, in the first film, it was more of like a really dark brown. Where in this movie, it almost looks, I don't know if it's just the way it was lit, but it feels like it's more of a reddish color. And I don't know why, because I do know why. I shouldn't say I don't know why. I do know why. It's because it wasn't treated properly, because a sequel was never planned initially. And as well, it doesn't sit right on the Shape's face due to the fact that Nick Castle did not return to play Michael, and instead Dick Warlock stepped in. And I get that this doesn't bother some people, but it bothers me. It creates almost this disconnect from the original film for me. And it doesn't feel like it takes place on these things, as well as Laurie's hair and that awful wig. And I can suspend disbelief. Okay, that is not an issue. I can suspend disbelief, but I have to draw the line in the sand somewhere. What else I think is funny about the wig issue, and I'll actually defend Halloween 2 here for a second, but it's funny how Jamie Lee during the production of Halloween Kills complained that Halloween 2 sucked because all she did was lay in a hospital with a shitty wig. Okay. Guess what Jamie Lee did in Halloween Kills? If you answered laid in a hospital with an awful wig, then congratulations, you are able to detect hypocrisy within the Blumhouse Halloween movement. And there are things in Halloween 2 that I do well, we'll get to that in a minute. How about some more things that puzzled me? Some things about Halloween 2 that puzzled me, like where did Michael find time to break into the school and write Samhain on the board? When did Michael find time to hook the nurse up to the IV and drain out her blood? How does Michael even know how to operate that? When did Michael find time to slash every single car's tires in the parking lot? Now, I get that the Shape is capable of stuff like this, but in the first film, when the Shape would do highly unrealistic things, it created this mystique around Michael, where in Halloween 2, it feels like it was just bad writing to progress the plot forward, because we don't know where to go, so we'll just say, oh, he slashed all the cars, tires, so that way nobody can leave. That's just shitty writing. That's lazy writing. They turn Michael into freaking Chris Angel, and I just don't like it. Now, with all the negativity, out of the way, are there things in Halloween 2 that I do like? Yes, of course. I like the music, and I like the scene where the nurse pulls into the parking lot, and you can see Michael's reflection in the mirror with that atmospheric music. And I do really, in Halloween 2, like the scene where he comes out of the shadows and grabs the nurse and puts the syringe full of air into the girl's head. Because that scene with Michael coming out of the shadows felt like the '78 film to me. But other than that, I really don't like Halloween 2, and I personally believe that it's an unnecessary sequel that's derivative of Friday the 13th, which that film was derivative of what they thought Halloween 1 was, and it's funny how that works. But this movie just removes what's scary about the Shape in the 1978 film to me. But remember, it's just my opinion before you scream at me in the comments, which I know somebody out there will. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.